Okay, that's going to open up a door for me. The time and dedication that goes into putting a show up is mind-blowing. The band I have right now is absolutely my favorite band. Going to the same stage, the same place every day, that's a challenge for me. Ever since I was very young, I was interested in Broadway, loved Broadway as a child, and growing up in Kansas, never got to actually see any shows when I was little. I just would see them on television if I ever could, and the soundtracks, you know, Jesus Christ Superstar, Godspell, Hair, I loved them all. Loved Barbra Streisand. I was a big Barbra Streisand and Liza Minnelli fan, so the idea of Broadway to me was a place where kind of the ultimate talent is there. You have to be like talented every single day to be on Broadway. And my wife and I worked on some things. We've done a whole lot of things over the years that never got finished. And then when I saw Bruce do his one-man show on Broadway, I said, okay, that's going to open up a door for me. I'm going to be able to step in and do, you know, my story. It takes a bit of crafting to make your life story entertaining or art. And that was my whole goal. I've been writing my songs, they've been very personal. I do write from a very autobiographical, personal place. And I've been pretty open about my life. And I started to think, I want to find a way to make this art and entertaining and uplifting. Because there's things that I've just learned along the way in my years that I think would encompass a story and show that you can have happy, you know, the ends of your story, you know, can be happy. My wife is the one who is, you know, so talented in storytelling and Broadway and television. She's very, very good, and she helped me, wrote this with me, let me know what's entertaining, wouldn't let me throw things away that, you know, she goes, no, that's gold, you've got to say that. You know, she's always done that for me. So between her and I, we were able to really create something that's different. It's hard to actually explain what it is. It's not a concert, it's not a play, it's, you know, it's both, it's in between, it's everything. First of all, Broadway people are some of the most hardworking people I've ever met. The dedication, the time and dedication that goes into putting a show up is mind-blowing. It's staggering. It's almost impossible to comprehend and how they do it. The people that were working with us on this show, it's absolutely that. They are so good. And once we got through the hard work of the first couple weeks of actually getting it all together and technical and making it all work, that was 12-hour days. Those were, you know, long rehearsals every single day. Once we got past that and got into just the running of the show and this sort of, okay, I have a place here and I'm cooking my own meals and then I'm going to work. And it's a very unusual situation. Usually when I'm on the road, I'm completely on the road. I got my bus, got my band. Sometimes my family comes with me, sometimes I'm alone, but you know, that's very different. So I do enjoy that. But sort of going to the same stage, the same place every day, that's a challenge for me because I need to make it fresh every day. And so that's my challenge as an actress, to make it fresh every single time I walk out there, even though I've done it for 30 times already. I try to make my show conversational. I try to make it feel like I'm just having a conversation with you. I'm not preaching at you. I'm not reciting to you a bunch of stuff I memorized. The way I say it to you is going to be different. When we first started talking about the show, I made it very clear that I had to do the show with my guitar tech and my sound man. That you can put whatever else around, but as far as gear is, I wanted that quality. They know, because on the road we have the finest sound, and I've got a guitar arsenal and pedal board on the road that is fire. I'm a big Gibson girl. I mean, I play the Ovation acoustics. Then I have my electric guitars. I'm a big Gibson girl. I've got a Gibson Les Paul Custom, the 3 pickups, that is just sings. And then last year, I acquired a 335. It's the Chuck Berry model. It's so good. But I don't have enough time in the show to like really lay out and show off all these guitars, because the story goes from, you know, me as a child, and it's not even until the second act that I even have a guitar solo. I have one guitar solo, and it's like, this is my chance to show you that I can do that. So, you know, gear-wise, we don't get too gearhead in this show, but boy, if you come see me in concert, you're gonna see a constant array of guitars, because I love pulling everything out and playing them. Of all the positions in my crew, I've been through more guitar techs than anything else, which I don't know whether that says something about me or them. I'm not sure. I'm not a difficult person to work with, but what I require guitar-wise is a heavy load. I have 12 strings. I have at least 4 a night that need to be strung and tuned. That's a heavy load just there. Then I have an electric 12 string that also needs to be at least tuned, if not strung, every other night. Then I have 6 electrics that I constantly keep moving during the show. Then I had a very specific desire in my sound. I was just an analog girl for a long time. I had my amp and my pedal board, and it grew to enormous sizes. I was persuaded to go into Axe Effects, which is just your fractals, you know, with no amp. And I did that for a couple years, and I found it limiting, and I finally said, I can't do this. And Sir approached me with something. Pete Thorne has been one of my guitar players, and also helped me learn how to be the best guitar player I could be. And he said, Sir's got this where we go through a guitar amp. We've got a Sir amp, but we don't go through a cabinet. So I can still use my pedals, and so I kind of have a hybrid of my analog pedals that I can man anything I want, because every gig is different. The sounds are not the same in sometimes I'm in a big outdoor amphitheater, sometimes I'm in a theater, sometimes I'm in a bouncy arena. It's always different. And my sounds, especially my reverbs and delays and stuff, I'm very particular how I need it to sound at the moment. I really needed someone who had that knowledge, and I went through a whole lot of guitar techs who gave their best. Some of them just said, I'm out. They just tapped out on it. And some of them, I was like, this isn't gonna work. But boy, when Jesse, he's my guitar tech, Jesse Belts, I've had him now for 6 years, maybe 7. Seems like he's been with me forever, because he knows exactly not only what I want, but he's always thinking ahead. He's already talking to me, because he's got all this time here. He just shows up every day. He's been taking the pedal board home, and he's been telling me how I can actually get more choices on my reverb that I have. So he's constantly upgrading, and he knows exactly what I'm looking for. The band I have right now is absolutely my favorite band. Oh my gosh. Probably the one who's been with me the longest has been Max Hart. He is kind of he's my utility guy. He's mostly a keyboard player, fantastic B3 player, keyboards, but he also plays guitar. So when I'm playing my 12 string, I can hand off the parts to him, and he can do that. We sometimes, double up on electrics when we want to really get hard. And he's the musical director. He's so genius in that way. He plays pedal steel. He plays just a ton of different kinds of instruments, and that it's so great to have. And he's been with me over 10 years now. He brought in Eric Gardner, my drummer, who'd played with Tom Morello, oh my God, all kinds of people. He's played with tons of people. And I've had a lot of amazing drummers, from Kenny Aronoff to Fritz Lewick. I've had some amazing drummers. Eric is so consistent, reliable, solid. He lays a beat and you can just sit in it. And he knows if I'm trying to push something a little, we're not chained to a click. We don't play to track, so we can breathe like that. And I just recently got a new bass player last year that's blowing my mind. It's Joe Ayoub. And he's just played with everybody and everything. He's the American Idol bass player, and he has brought all of our game up. You know, when you get that player that comes in and just brings everybody up, and he's done that. And I am so excited for my tour next year. I hope I can inspire people and entertain. I hope I'm the kind of artist that people can say, oh, even if they don't hear something, oh, I'd like to know what she's done, because they've had enough good experiences with my music that they like it. Or I hope that they're like, oh, I heard she's really good in concert. That's probably my favorite. I want people to go, wow, that's something I want to see before, you know, it's all over. I want to go see Melissa Etheridge live. I hear that's really good. That is kind of what I aspire to. You know, I'd love for people to find inspiration and hope and connection with my songs and songwriting. And I know there are many who do, they tell me, so that brings me a lot of joy.